is on the three aspects of time and how we can move from a child to the master in these three aspects of time at the confluence age. Baba in today's Murli speaks that at the confluence age, you can see all these three aspects, the past, the present, and the future, and how you can, by remembering all these three aspects of time, how you can move from a child stage to a master stage. Baba says that in the past, you had the sanskars of bhakti, where you were neither a child nor a master, because there was no relationship with Baba at that time. The only relationship with Baba in bhakti was that of a beggar and a receiver and a giver. Right? We were always asking for something or the other. But the connection that we feel of the child and the father, that connection was not there. So Baba is saying that, are you checking these three aspects of time? Is the past bhakti sanskars, are they in the past, or are there still some strings attached to those sanskars even in the Brahmin birth? Right? Or are you completely a child, or sometimes you become a child and sometimes a beggar? Baba has asked us to check that in today's movie. Then Baba has also asked us that when you're looking at your present as a Brahmin soul, you must look at all the all the all the things that we've received from Baba in terms of the knowledge, in terms of the powers, and look at yourself in the near future. One is the future when we are deities in the new world, in the golden age, born with a golden spoon. But even in the Brahmin birth, right, when we are Baba's children, there is a near future after this. There's my present, and then there's near future. And my near future is the Farishta stage, the angelic stage. Right? How much am I reaching that near future stage, which is just around the corner? Right? So one comparison is with my past bhakti sanskar and the Brahmin birth. And the other comparison is one my present Brahmin birth and my near future angelic stage. Right? And then Baba says that whatever you experience in this birth as an angelic, in the angelic stage, is the sanskar that you carry forward to the golden age. So very sweetly, Baba has explained these four stages: the bhakti stage, the Brahmin stage, the angelic stage, and the deity stage. And he's gone deeper into each of those sanskars and asked us to check what all we are able to experience in the present moment within us. Okay? So these versions of Baba were spoken on the 12th of January, 1977. A vision of the three aspects of time, of those who are master and child at the confluence age. Today, Bab Dada was seeing the three aspects of time of each child. In the past, were you devotees of the beginning period or of the middle period? Baba once mentioned in the Murlis, many times he's mentioned actually, that Baba's children have been devotees from the beginning. Actually, Baba's children were the ones who started the series of devotion. So we are the devotees of the beginning and not of the middle. Has the period of devotion finished for you? Having received the fruit of devotion, that is, having attained the ocean of knowledge and knowledge, have you become enlightened, knowledgeable souls, or are you becoming that? Baba is saying, just do that check-in. In devotion, we were in search for answers. We were in search for God, right? Always looking for God in everything. That's why we started saying, wherever I see God. So Baba says the fruit of that devotion that you have been doing from the beginning, from the beginning of your birth, the fruit of that devotion is that you have achieved the ocean of knowledge, that is Almighty Himself, and you have received knowledge, which has made us enlightened, knowledgeable souls. So Baba is saying, just check. Have you already become that? Or you're still in the middle? Which means sometimes we use knowledge and sometimes we are not able to use that knowledge. Do you still have the slightest trace or progeny of the sanskars of devotion? This is a point to check. And especially when I'm going through something, do my sanskars of devotion, do they appear in any form or shape or any trace? That is, are you still dependent on someone or something actually? Or are you begging, calling out, considering yourself to be very far from being perfect, etc.? Right? So bhakti sanskars, we will even try to remember that I am a powerful soul, I'm a knowledgeful soul, I'm a perfect soul, but we'll not feel that. And when we'll not feel that, we'll feel powerless. And when we'll feel powerless, we will start asking for power from Baba. And then that's where the dependency starts. So Baba says, just check, because these are the sanskars of bhakti, they are not the sanskars of knowledge. It's a very minor checking. At present, to what extent have you become completely equal to the Father in His virtues, His task, and His service? It's a, it's a long journey, but we've been on this journey for some time. So how far we have become completely equal to Him. On the basis of the present, how elevated are you making your future reward? So the present and the future both need to be in front of my eyes, because the way my present is, it will show how my future will be, how my future reward will be. In this way, seeing the three aspects of time of every child, seeing the children who are the masters, Baba sings their praise. Because Baba is able to see all the three aspects of each of us. So Baba is always singing our praise. Sometimes we feel, why is Baba singing our praise? Because we are only looking at the present, where we might be feeling powerless. But Baba, when he looks at us, it's always from the aspects of past, present, and future. And that's how that's the version of us, the perfect version of us that Baba is always seeing, and not what we are doing in the present. It's a beautiful, liberating thought. However, together with that, Baba is also a little amazed with some. Look at yourself and ask, do I still have a trace of the sanskars of a devotee even now? Baba just told what are the sanskars of the devotee. If you're depending on any sanskar or nature, even slightly, if you're begging for name, fame, or honor, if you're still crying out with the questions of what or how, if you're still calling out, sometimes we call out Baba, right? Rather than saying God, we'll say Baba, but still there's a difference. We are calling him out, asking for help, Baba. That again is a sign of devotion and not of devotion. If you're like devotees who are internally one thing and externally something else, this is also a sign of a devotee. Internally one thing and externally something else. Because internally they're usually thinking of something else, but externally they're always, always singing praises of God. If you have the deceitful sanskars of a stork in this way, then where there is even the slightest trace of devotion, you cannot be a knowledgeable, enlightened soul, because devotion is night and knowledge is day. So Baba has given a beautiful comparison. If any of these devotion-based sanskars are there, calling out, begging, there's a difference in what I'm internally and what I'm externally. Baba called that deceitful, even though it is very innocent, right? Internally something else and externally something else. It's not coming from deceitful thoughts, it's coming from innocence. But from a knowledge perspective, Baba says that is a deceitful sanskar. It's a sanskar, even though intentionally we don't do it, but it's happening because it's a sanskar. And if any of these sanskars they emerge in us, the sanskars of devotion, then the sanskars of knowledge cannot be emerged. And these are the reasons we don't feel that we are always knowledgeable. Sometimes we feel knowledgeable, sometimes we feel dependent. Because Baba says, day and night cannot remain together. That's why we are at Sangam, right? When the night is turning into day, you can neither call it a day nor you can call it a night. It's dawn. We are moving from night to the day, which means in today's terms, what Baba is saying, we are moving from devotion to knowledge. But then actually Baba says, the day you get knowledge, we have already moved from devotion to knowledge. We have stepped into knowledge and we have moved out from devotion. But still, we continue to observe the sanskars of devotion in us. And that is where we need to do the effort to move more and more in the light away from the darkness. Baba says, a knowledgeable soul as a result of devotion is one who always remains absorbed in the ocean of knowledge. And the knowledge and is ignorant of the knowledge of desire and is an embodiment of all attainments. So Baba says, somebody who who is a knowledgeable soul, which is a result of devotion, of long-term devotion, right? The fruit is being knowledgeable and becoming a knowledgeable soul. So the one who is a knowledgeable soul, what is the sign? Baba gave the sign of the devotion-based soul. Now, what is the sign of the knowledgeable soul? Always being absorbed in the ocean of knowledge. Baba is always in front of me. Wherever I see Baba. So being absorbed in the ocean of knowledge and the knowledge. And underline, ignorant of the knowledge of desire. So, which means if there is any desire, I should get this, I should get that, even subtle desires, I should get that seva, I should be able to do that, people should know me. Again, a desire. This is not a sanskar of knowledge. A sanskar of knowledge is being an embodiment of all the attainments. I have everything that I need. I got Baba, I don't need anything. Baba says, are you able to take a photograph of such knowledgeable souls through your intellect? In your future picture of Sri Krishna, he is shown from birth with a crown and a golden spoon. So, Baba just spoke about our past and the present. The past is the sanskar of devotion. The present is the sanskar of a knowledgeable soul. Baba is also speaking about our future. In your future picture of Sri Krishna, he is shown from birth with a crown and a golden spoon in the mouth. That is, he is shown as an embodiment of all the attainments. Having a golden spoon in the mouth is a sign that he has everything. He is full in all aspects, health, wealth, and happiness. Even nature is serving him. Are you going to experience all of those things which you are going to attain in the future now at the confluence age? Or are they just praises of the future? That's the question. So the future Sri Krishna stage, the complete stage, full of health, wealth, and happiness. That's a sanskar we have to carry from this birth to that birth. It has to be experienced in this birth. So Baba says, you have to experience all these aspects in confluence age itself, which is in the near future. Maybe not in the present, because there might be certain aspects which you are working on, which you are doing the effort for. But in the near future, Baba says you have to experience. Only then you will be able to experience in the golden age. So are you going to carry those sanskars from here, or will you create them there? Creating them there means doing effort there. That is not going to be possible. All the effort has to be done in the confluence age. The golden age is not the age to do effort. So Baba says, will you have the Trikaldarshi stage now or in the future? Do you have the attainment of being personally with the Father and receiving his inheritance now or in the future? Are we waiting for the future to come when I will be born with a golden spoon, when I'll have health, wealth, and happiness, when I'll have all the attainments from the Father? No, all this has to be experienced in this birth. Baba says, do you have an attainment of the, do you have an elevated stage now or in the future? It is elevated now, is it not? We all must answer that inside. So we say, yes, Baba, we have the elevated stage now, but not always. We feel there's some fluctuation. We have an elevated stage. Sometimes it will be elevated, we will be absorbed in the ocean of knowledge, and sometimes we'll come down because of some of the sanskars from the past which are still emerging in some way or the other. Right? That is what leads to the fluctuations. So we cannot answer this right now. We cannot say we are always experiencing an elevated stage in the present. Baba says, the image of the final perfect stage of the confluence age is shown in the image of the future. So our future golden age image is just a mirror of our stage that we experience here. It's a continuation of our experience in confluence age. As well as those in the future, it is the Brahmins of the confluence age who experience all the attainments. How beautiful that is. So I have to experience all that I want to experience in future in my present. In the final stage, you become those who have the crown, the throne, and the pillar, an image that has all the rights, a conqueror of Maya and a conqueror of nature. Underline. That's the final stage. Final stage of having the crown, the throne, and the pillar. And Baba has explained in a couple of his Murlis about the crown, the throne, and the pillar of the confluence. He'll explain here as well. And then Baba says, an image that has all rights. I don't need anything. I have everything. A conqueror of mind. Not sometimes, but every time. Each and every time that Maya tries to overpower, attack, I conquer it. And a conqueror of nature. Even nature cannot block me from my path of making the effort and becoming complete. Baba says that is the final stage. You are constantly seated on the seat of a detached observer and on Bab Dada's heart throne. This is the seat that Baba is speaking of, the stage, the throne. The throne of constantly being seated on, the throne of the attached observer, and on Bab Dada's heart throne. These are the two thrones. And what are the crowns? You have the crown of responsibility of the world benefit, the tilak of soul consciousness, awareness, and are filled with the alaukic wealth of knowledge, virtues, and powers that you have received from the Father. The crown of responsibility, and Baba also keeps saying the crown of purity, complete purity. The tilak of the soul consciousness awareness, soul conscious awareness, and are filled with alaukic wealth of knowledge, virtues, and powers that we've received from the Father. Baba says, you do not just have a single crown, but a double crown. It's not just in future that we have a double crown, but right here in the present. Just as you have a double throne, the heart throne and the throne of a detached observer, in the same way, you have responsibility. That is, you have the crown of service as well as the crown of light, the crown of purity. So you become one who has a double crown. So in future also we'll have a double crown, the crown of purity, which we have today, will also be there, right? And then there will be the crown of, so one is the crown of purity, and then I'll have a crown of my rule. So you become one who has a double crown. Though I'll not have the crown of responsibility in future, but still I'll carry two crowns. So you become one who has a double crown, a double soul, and are full of attendance. Let alone a golden spoon. You become one who is as valuable as diamonds. So can we say that we are born with a spoonful of diamonds? Or not just a spoonful of diamonds, but a room full of diamonds, a world full of diamonds, every day, much better than the golden spoon. So in front of a diamond, gold is nothing. In fact, your life becomes like a diamond. You are decorated with the jewelry of knowledge and virtues. In comparison to the decoration of the present, you would not find the future decoration worthwhile. Our present is so beautiful, we don't even find the need to go in the future. There, it will be the maids who decorate you. We will help, we will have help there. So they will decorate us. Whereas here, it is Baba, the bestower of knowledge, who decorates you. How beautiful is that? There, you will swing in swings of gold and diamonds. Whereas here, you swing in Bapdada's land and in the swing of super sensuous joy. So which image is the more elevated? That of the present or the future? Constantly keep this elevated image of yours in front of you. This is known as the image of an enlightened soul. The Baba says you should constantly remember that you're an enlightened soul, an elevated soul. And that is when we can enjoy, when we can feel the 100% benefits that we get from Baba, 100% powers, the being absorbed in the ocean of knowledge. If we continuously, constantly remember that I'm an elevated soul, I'm an enlightened soul, and have that image in front of me all the time. So Bapdada was seeing the image of the three aspects of time of everyone as to what extent it was ready. Is everyone's image ready now? We have to check. Baba's asking. The image that Baba just explained, the elevated image, is it ready? When an image is ready, it is unveiled for everyone to come and see. When you draw a painting or there's a beautiful picture, you unveil it for everyone to come and see. Are you living images ready so that the curtains of time can be opened? A vision is always given of a perfect image, not a damaged idea. Right? In Bhakti, when we were into Bhakti, a damaged idol was always considered to be inauspicious. It had to be a perfect idol. And that is what Baba is referring to here. That what are you trying to show? Are you trying to show a damaged idol or a perfect image? To have any type of weakness means you are damaged idol. Underline. Have you become worthy of granting a vision? This is only when you become a constantly elevated, enlightened soul, a perfect image, and a perfect idol, only then you are worthy of granting your vision. Are you thinking about yourself or about time? Time is just like a shadow behind. Baba says, don't be time conscious, be self conscious. I have to become. Time will not know. Sometimes we start thinking, oh, I don't know how much time is left. Will I be able to become that perfect version of myself? No, Baba says, no need to think about time. If you will become, time will wait for you. Baba says, you even forget yourself. Baba said, not even time, just forget yourself. Therefore, while being the master Chakaldashi and knowing your three aspects of time, make yourself a perfect image. That is, become an image worthy of granting the vision. Do you understand? Do not count how much time is left, but count the virtues of the Father and the Self. These are the things, these are the virtues that Baba has, and these are the virtues I have. Where do I need to work? Baba says, compare and count that instead of counting time. You celebrate the day of remembrance, but now celebrate the day of becoming an embodiment of remembrance. The memorial of this day of remembrance is the pillar of peace, the pillar of purity, and the pillar of power. In the same way, make yourself such a pillar of all aspects that no one can shake. A pillar is referred when it is unshakable, right? That's why it's called a pillar. It's always there, standing tall. Baba says you make yourself a pillar of all aspects so nobody can shake you. Do not just sing the praise of the Father's love, but make yourself an embodiment of the Avyakt stage, the same as the Father, so that everyone sings your praise. You may sing songs of praise, but the one whom you praise should also sing your praise. So you make yourself worthy of this. On this day of remembrance, Baba wants to see the practical form of love. So Baba said, make yourself worthy of praise and don't just sing praises. Then Baba says, on this day of remembrance, Baba wants to see the practical form of love. Many times Baba has said, what is the practical form of love? When you unconditionally love someone, what is the sign of that? The sign of love is sacrifice. You would want to willingly sacrifice for the ones that we love. Right? All of you know which sacrifice Baba wants from all of your children. The sacrifice of all your weaknesses in a practical way, not just theoretical, Baba, I will remove this weakness. No, in a practical way, Baba said. Sing the praise of this sacrifice from deep within your hearts, that you have sacrificed everything out of love for the Father. When something is sacrificed out of love, even a difficult or impossible thing becomes easy or possible. Baba says love is such a thing that makes difficult and impossible also possible. So out of complete love for Baba, when we sacrifice, we don't get a feeling of doing any sacrifice. It becomes very easy and simple. Baba goes on the day of remembrance, celebrated as a day of power, become an embodiment of remembrance and so an embodiment of power. Do you understand? So embodiment of remembrance and embodiment of power. Power that I am standing as a pillar and nobody can shake me. An embodiment of power. On that day, the Father will see what sacrifice each one has made and to what percentage and in which thing, whether it is out of compulsion or out of love. Underline, are we making a sacrifice? Are we making a change out of compulsion or out of love? If it will be compulsion, one, it will not be able to be constant because we will be constantly pushed to our original earlier stage because it's being done out of compulsion. And second, we'll always keep getting pulled to that. We keep remembering our sacrifice. I've sacrificed this, I've sacrificed that, I had to sacrifice this. And there will be some discontentment if it is done out of compulsion. Baba is saying I have to do it. Why Baba wants this also? Why he says this? Why can't I just balance? But when it is out of love, there is no feeling. There is complete lack of feeling of sacrifice. It should not just be as a discipline. Sometimes we become discipline conscious. Baba has said this, I have to do this. Because Baba has said. Of course, Baba has said discipline is important. We should follow the discipline, the maryadas. But the consciousness within should not be that of discipline consciousness or Maryada consciousness. It should be out of love for Baba. And you'll experience or you'll feel that it becomes automatic when it is out of love. Do not do it out of compulsion, thinking that it is a discipline. Only that which is done out of love from the heart is accepted. See? It's a very, very strong word that Baba said. Baba said only that which is done out of love from the heart will be accepted. Anything which is done out of discipline or just out of a compulsion, Baba says that is not effort, that is not accepted. If something is not accepted, it goes waste. Therefore, you were told not to be, you were told to not just be a stoic devotee. You mustn't deceive yourself. Only the truth is accepted by the true Father. Here, Baba is saying, don't deceive yourself. Inside and outside, the same. I want to sacrifice. Devotees, you would have observed, devotees when they do fast, they do out of discipline and compulsion. And they keep thinking about, you know, having water or eating something. I've spoken to so many devotees who do fast. They say when we do fast, we feel more hungry because they are discipline conscious, compulsion conscious. So only that Baba says, I will accept only the truth which is coming out of deep love for Baba. Inside and outside, the same. All the rest is accumulated in the account of sin and not in the Father's account. Very strong. Now finish the account of sin and accumulate in the Father's account. Earn multi-millions at every step and become a multi-millionaire. So Baba has taught us how to earn multi-millions at every step. Do every sacrifice, every effort out of love and not out of compulsion. Acha. To those who understand from a signal, to those who think about the self and not about the time, to those who sacrifice out of love for the Father in a second with determination, to the souls who have a double crown, a double throne, to such enlightened souls, Bhaktadas, love, remembrance, and namaste. Baba's personal meeting with the teachers. Baba says, teachers means service. The main means of service is renunciation and tapasya. They both go together. If either of the two is missing, then service lacks success to that percentage. Renunciation means to renounce even thoughts. You may have renunciation externally out of compulsion, according to the circumstances or the code of conduct, but that would not mean renunciation through your thoughts. Renunciation is not out of compulsion, but it means to be an embodiment of knowledge and to renounce even the thoughts. Even the thoughts of renunciation should be renounced. Each soul who are renunciates and tapasvis, that is, those who are constantly absorbed in the Father's love, who are merged in the ocean of love, who are merged in the ocean of knowledge, bliss, happiness, and peace, are called tapasvi souls. Nothing special. Constantly merged in the ocean of love, ocean of knowledge, bliss, happiness, and peace. Souls who have such renunciation and tapasya are called servers. Are you such servers? Renunciation is fortune. Many times Baba says this. You cannot create fortune without renunciation. This is known as being a teacher. So do you have both the name and the profession of a teacher? It should not just be the name of a teacher. Teacher doesn't need to have a position, but to be a servant. A teacher means one who enables everyone to reach their position, not one who considers herself to be a teacher in the name because of that position. Position consciousness. It is said that giving is not giving but receiving. In the same way, when a teacher renounces her position, it is the receiving of fortune. So here Baba spoke about the renunciation and the tapasya that go hand in hand. And for us to be not position conscious in any case, not just for teachers, but for anyone. Have a consciousness that I'm a servant, a complete servant at all times, like my father. Acha. So we'll have a 1 minute silence and then we'll come back to the chant. Okay. Would anybody want to share their journey from the Murli today?
Om Shanti. I think the whole Murli was just one word, a stock devotee. And so much Baba speaks about stocks and Murlis. He says there are stocks in the family. And when he speaks of yugals also, he says stocks and swans. And he says, if there is no stock in the family, to whom will you give knowledge? And he wants us to become swans. And that, I think the whole Murli, if you see, is just he's giving the qualities of a stock devotee dependent begging and how to come out from there. That one word when he says, are you still carrying the deceitful samskars of a stock? So I have to see, what am I? Am I a stock or am I a swan? What should I do to become a swan? He's given us so much. Become a trikaldarshi, be absorbed in knowledge, hold on to the pillars, go to Shanti Stam, and be there. I think this is the key thing I found in the Murli, stock devotee.
That's right. Baba kept saying that today in the Murli, stock devotee. So we have to start moving from a stock devotee to Baba's swans, right? And not deceive ourselves. We feel that, we are trying to defeat somebody else, not in the true way, but only in an innocent way and not intentionally without a sanskar, but we are deceiving ourselves. Right? Thank you for sharing. Anyone else?
Shanti, wonderful Murli, very powerful Murli, which actually, gives us insight of what to do in the present. While we have three aspects of time with us, every soul has got three aspects of time: past, present, and future. So, how do we take on the present, which is very valuable? Being a Brahmin, we experience the master-child relationship. That is the key to have to experience all attainments of this of the father-child inheritance, and through the experience we create and record the DVR, DVD or DVR of the soul, that is being DT, victorious, and royalty. These sanskars can be created here, and then we take on to the next Satyuga. I mean that next birth, the golden world Baba describes as. So this is very crucial. Present is very crucial. It's like a diamond. We are shaping up the diamond to and recording is going on. I really was touched with this. Recording is going on of the future sanskars right now, and that will happen when we experience every constantly. Baba always uses this word, this constantly absorbed in father's love and then automatically everything falls in place. And the important tool is being in Trikaldashi stage. That who am I, where am I, and who is mine. Om Shanti.
Thanks for sharing, brother. And very true. Baba said, keep all your stages in front of you, right? Even the bhakti stage, Baba said, keep it in front of you, your past, and keep comparing your present with the past. Because if we will not keep the knowledge of our past in front of us today, we will not be able to compare whether we have moved away from it or are we still having those sanskars in some form and shape. They creep in even today. So this is the only time, our present, when we have a, a knowledge of our past, what we were, the devotees, what we are, and what we are going to be. Right? It's a knowledgeful stage of my past, present, and future. And Baba spoke about the near future. So today I'm a Brahmin, but in the near future, very near future, I need to move to an angelic stage. Keep comparing that also, Baba said, right? So it was very beautifully that Baba articulated all these things. And thanks for bringing it out. Anyone else?
Sister, could you clarify this devotees of the beginning period, middle period? I think Meera was of the middle period. Now, what is Baba emphasizing here? Devotees of the beginning period, middle period. Why did he give two periods of devotees?
Yeah. So many times in Murlis, Baba has mentioned you are the devotees from the beginning. You started the devotion when, from when it started, you have been devotees, right? And knowledge is a fruit for long-term devotion. So today, in today's Murli, Baba is emphasizing that because we have long-term sanskars of devotion, right? Even though we started with devotion, which was, unmaligned, but over a period of time, devotion became maligned. And we also did maligned devotion when we became beggars towards the end. But the sanskars of devotion are carried for 2,500 years, the longest for any devotee. Right? So Baba is emphasizing that because even today in Brahmin birth, sometimes those sanskars they emerge, and that is what the effort needs to be done. Right? Yes, Meera was the devotee from not she was not a devotee from the beginning because devotees from the beginning are more or less Baba's children who were in search when they saw that the world was not going in the right direction. What we have observed in the world that has completely changed. That is when they started calling out to God. But the emphasis today is on carrying forward those sanskars in the present Brahmin events. And Baba wants to put a check on that because they are also long-term sanskars for 2,500 words. But if anyone else has anything else to share on this, please go ahead.
Om Shanti. Am I audible?
Yes, brother, you're audible.
Today Baba was asking that whether the bhakti sanskar, whether the devotee sanskar is still there or has been finished. Because Baba wants us to be Jnana Swarupa and Jnana Murta. For that, even the slightest of the bhakti sanskar should be removed. Because Baba wants us to become enlightened, knowledgeable souls. That is, even the slightest trace or progeny of the sanskars of devotees should not be there. And Baba very rightly said, and very interestingly told, that devotion is night and knowledgeful is day. Day and night cannot remain together. But what we children generally do, as Baba also stated, sometimes the sanskar of bhakti comes in. So that Baba wants us that these sanskars of bhakti should be removed completely. And Baba also talked about double crown and double throne also. And Baba told that, yes, we children are always in the Bap Dada's lap and swing in the super senses joy. Baba wants us to become pillar of peace, purity and power. And Baba also told that the practical form of love is sacrifice. And Baba wants us to sacrifice all our weakness and become embodiment of remembrance, become embodiment of power. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Brother, for summarizing the poem. Yes, Baba said sacrifices should be done out of love and not out of compulsion or being conscious that because it's a discipline that I need to follow. And Baba said we should become swans from stock devotees. Move away from those sanskars. Move towards your near future angelic sanskars. That is how you can come and achieve your stage of golden age.
And one thing what Baba told that should be even the tyag that we do, that should be the outcome of love, not the outcome of compulsion. It's a very important line. Yeah, yeah. Om Shanti.
Because when you do something out of compulsion and you do it for a long time, you will get tired. Right?
Yes.
But if you do it out of love, you'll always be enthusiastic. You'll always. So it's the consciousness that matters.
Yes.
Sacrifice, not the sacrifice, but the consciousness.
As we tell in Hindi ना, जब मोहब्बत होती है तो तकलीफ नहीं होती, मोहब्बत में आनंद आता है. If we do out compulsion, we sometimes get irritated. But when it is due to mohabbat, more we get the challenges, more we are feeling that ananda. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing with me. So we'll have a quick 1 minute silence and then we can proceed. No commentary today. Just sit in silence and revise the Murli. One homework for all of us before going is to, Baba has given us all the sanskars of bhakti, right? Let's write down all those sanskars, calling out, begging for, and also being dependent on sanskars or dependent on others. So all this we should write that down and also write down how much percentage that sanskar has moved. I have moved away from that sanskar. Or does that still emerge? Because when we write that down, that is when we will identify which sanskar is bothering me from bhakti even today. So write down that percentage, and when you identify the one which is continuously bothering me with high percentage, start working on that. So that's one homework for today. So we'll go in 1 minute silence and then we all can proceed. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Shivani Ben. Thank you, Divine Family. See you all tomorrow at 5 a.m. Till that time, have a wonderful day. Om Shanti.